protection from infection is super high. That's good. The double knife! Well, that ain't good. I always win. Except when I don't. There are fire starters, so let's ready up the shotgun. Well, that ain't good. Yeah, I fucked that one up, but didn't get punished. Alright, we can just duck in here to despawn the rats. It's funny though, the abundance of resources I've been getting as the Haruspex, there really has been no good reason to go into plague houses. Really is it just a desperation move. So I've been finding the relatively useless burnt out houses more valuable for the crowbars. Got a bunch of weird items. She doesn't have anything I could use. Funny that Clara, of all people, took such an obvious lie. I guess she is a child at heart, too.
What is this? What's going on? Who was screaming?
Here's how the story of the Icy Prince ends. Oh, do tell. As time went by, the crystal flower became the greediest in the garden, drank all the earth's juices. Most importantly, it also snatched all sunlight. The garden became so dark that even the air has turned cold. Oh, and what did the prince do when the time has come to pick the crystal flower? The prince executed a crafty plan. He engineered it so that the gardener would pick a different flower instead of the crystal one. Yeah, that sounds right. come into that? So did the flower end up all alone in an empty garden? Yes, it blossomed, spread its seeds all over the place, and a new garden grew, 100 times more beautiful than the one before. So that's how it is. Yes, it sounds about right. What a bad prince. Why do I have to kill all the simple flowers? Deal's a deal. Let me into the abattoir, mother. Come in. I'm going to fall asleep now. Then I'll go there myself and crack the great pit open. Do you know where it is? Follow the passage between buildings. Accidentally clicked off, but works. So the main entrance is open? Or do I gotta enter through the other holes? We'll see. And again, these quest notes are really interesting. But it's just too much, and it would drive out. Like, if I had to read all of those parts, not only would the pacing die a bit, but also we'd have to have, like, 4 parts for a single day. I think, restraining it to, at max, 3 parts is, the most reasonable for my channel. Anyways, into the abattoir once more. Not for fun. Let's just climb up these mysteriously floating scaffolds. Oh, I'm getting some, I have a really severe fear of heights. For some reason, things like this just trip it up. Could not tell you why. The polyhedron... it's kind of halfway there in terms of intense goddamn fear. Once again, Foreman.
Was it not the last manure?
Come here often, kindred one. You seem to be employed by Boosflod. The plague is fierce. We must not abandon work. Perhaps you are not Donge. Bring us a bull then. Perhaps you are a butcher. Kill one for us, then prepare its meat for transportation. I want to ask you where the blood you gave me yesterday came from. Yet you will not get an answer. Why would I share this knowledge with you? You cannot take it. It will rip you apart. I am the son of Isidore Burak. It's not in Oyun's place to talk to me about knowledge. You see before me someone who calls himself a son of Burak. You haven't accepted his inheritance, and are therefore unworthy of his name. I've accepted my father's inheritance in full. Have you accepted your father's duty, the obligation to save the lives that he gave an oath to keep? I have. Have you accepted his knowledge? Have you accepted his lines? Have you learned how to tell the dark from the light, the damp from the crumbling, the scorched from the cold, the dead from the living? I have. Have you accepted his possessions, his house, his flesh, his food, and his signs? I have. Show me the thing that he used to draw the lines of the ground with when opening them up for a ritual. Where is his Oday? Which should be hanging around your neck, proudly so that everyone can see who is in charge of the lines of the Burak's Tegador. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll only speak to you once you have your father's Oday hanging from your neck. Seems like something's been concealed from you by the one that passed the inheritance to you. I'll be back, Elder One. So that would be Aspity then. She hid something from me. Or is Oyun hiding something from me themselves? Oh well, it's a lead. It's not like I can argue with him until I find out what's the truth. Enjoy the music as we leave. Heading out the back entrance to get spat out. Near the, crude sprawl, that's what it's called. Yeah, so let's go give Aspity a visit. First, trading with guards. Note. Dear Master Burak, I assume you already know of the fatal transformation that has happened to the family of Vladil Gimski. Your father's friend and benefactor, a cunning intrigue has led the head of the Gimski family to be judged by a crowd of bloodthirsty butchers. Before long, every one of them will tremble at the sound of Usvlad's name. Kindly request that you find a moment to visit the Crucible. I am in possession of some crucially important information that may, perhaps, save the life of the man whose hospitality you've recently enjoyed. Yordgate Kane. Oh boy. How much time is left in the day? Oh, we're cutting it thin. Aspity.
Your changeling has a haughty attitude. Seems like she knows something.
I trace your steps with my hand, Doinon. Look me in the eye, Aspity. Did you hand over my father's inheritance to me in full, every bit and every part of it? No, I didn't. I confess. Explain yourself. I've fallen in love with you, Oinon. I care too much. I so desperately want you to live. You were brought up away from here. You've forgotten our rights and customs. You're in need of a friend here, a mentor. It was easier for me to keep your belongings for the time being. Easier than trying to explain why they are dangerous to keep, and even more dangerous to use. What are you talking about? It's a bone, a bus primigenius genius horn. Here it confirms that you are the eldest of the Buroks, that you know the right and preserve the art of a copious tugdor. Why did you hide it from me? Intuition. Also, I have a strong feeling that this is the exact horn that had pierced your father's chest. I managed to snatch it from under the nose of Sobrov's crazed henchmen while they were inspecting the crime scene. Had I given it to you, you would have been walking around the place with the murder weapon in your pocket. What you did was right. Buroks are a copious tuglor. You know the lines. You know how to cut a body open. The right is your right. There were but a few families of the kind left. I had no right to make this choice for you. Give me the bone. It is rightfully yours. Take it and forgive me. I swear that I meant well. Had I not abused the situation, you'd have been dead by now. Now be once again accused of patricide by many. The weak old story will repeat itself. Be prepared. I'll be different now. I'll take care of it all on my own. Bonehorn. Bos primigenius, a beast from legend whose lines reflect all the intricacies and lines of the universe.
There's a hole under my heart.
Very cool, Aspity. Gave this bone to one of the first of the Manku. See. Now let's see. Can I enter back from over here, or do I have to crawl all the way back up the Knots or Earth District? I'm also feeling a bit of rush because I desperately need to go to the bathroom, yet I really don't want to make a jump cut in Sony Vegas because that's a lot of render time. Okay, no, you can't enter from here, so I have to crawl all the way back up to the front entrance. What are you doing here, worm? This is the ring of Suak, the gulp of blood. Your service to Suak is all his. I have no idea how to say that. It's the amount of blood you soak the soil with. It's a bare-handed melee fight. You may sink your teeth into them. Is this how Suak is to be served? It is. The soil is to be sated with blood so that she feeds us. It's an ancient tradition by everyone. What happens inside the circle? One of Bodo stands against another. A fight to the death. No mercy. No one leaves the circle until the fight is over. The winner gets the blood of the loser. Suak gets the moisture. Bodo gets the body and the bones. Now as ever. I know that. It's not intended for you. You also want to fight. No, I will not. I have better things to attend to than throwing myself bare-fisted at strong men. Big old meat shot. Oh, the angel got me, so take one of these to keep me topped off. Duck in here to get out of the cloud. Why'd I head into the termitary? I'm supposed to go right in onto the abattoir. Whoops. It's time to vertical walk my way into the cave.
Gave me these legs to make up for the crippled ones.
I have accepted my father's inheritance in full. Speak. I see. A worthy deed. I know now that you haven't had the bone before due to ignorance or cowardice. It is henceforth yours. Do you want to know? Speak. Where did the blood you gave me yesterday come from? It is the blood of Boss Primigenius, image of Boss Turok, who goes by the name of an Aurochs, an ancient step bull whose lines are akin to the lines of the cosmic bull was left over from a sacrificial rite. But the rite didn't go the way you wanted it to. You couldn't get living blood from the beast killed the day before yesterday. That is so that I can draw it from the earth. It is the blood that feeds Suok's body, the blood that flows through her veins underground, the blood that we have been pouring there since time immemorial, feeding Boss Turok's body to be fed by him in return. So you've taken the blood from below the ground. How old is it? Warmed by Suok's body, brought to life by Suok's breath. The currents of thousands upon thousands of bulls cut open lie underground. Its age should be of no concern to you. It's been the living blood of Suok from the moment it was born into Boss Suok's veins. Where exactly is the entrance point the blood gets poured into? I will tell you of this too. Here in the Abattoir, at the heart of the house of Suok, lies a well that is connected to the veins feeding the earth. Can blood be extracted from there? Only by an Odong, foreman of the Abattoir, who belongs to a long Tegador and knows the right. The blood rises from down below, heeding his call. But I will not call this blood for you until we are equal. Why not? Because I do not want you to have it. You are unworthy of thinking about it, let alone taking it. It was not you, but Moose Vlad that I gave the blood to before, to help him and on his orders. So how can I get this blood? By making the sacrifice and fulfilling your father's duty, by passing every trial, completing every task, and proving that you are worthy of making such a sacrifice. Not before that. Come tomorrow. We shall talk about it. I will. So veins crawl down its body. Buddo's veins filled with the Abattoir blood, pooling up and being welled out somewhere deep within the Abattoir. You see. And that is the completion of today. Main quest also changed, but I'll read that tomorrow. I also really do not have the time. Yes, I do not have the time to fulfill Yodge's request. Well, no, there's not enough time, and I need to get this recording done. And I have to go to the bathroom really badly, so, yeah. I will hear of his request. And then I'll sleep over at the Bachelor's. And as usual, see the pantomime and bid thou adieu. know, it doesn't help that doesn't help that burnt out districts look like they're coated in pee anyways. So my bladder feels like it's about to fucking burst like a balloon. And I have a feeling someone was just aroused by that thought. And no, it ain't me. Don't you fucking dare. I'm not even gonna bother with the judge. Not even gonna humor him that I have the time for this. Gonna head to sleep at Lara Raval, as she lives closest to the theater. You know what? I'll do it. I just remembered the note from earlier, and as we remember, the kin wants one of the two, Olgimskis. And if Vlad the Younger is the one that's sacrificed, then the Bachelor, well, our relationship will die. So, I'll take the hit for the story. I'll be okay. Clone children, give me your bullets. What do you want, Georgi?
I have a heartache.
Yes, you will definitely don your deceased father's garb soon. Felt that familiar power as soon as you stepped into my home. You've almost come into possession of his inheritance, haven't you? That is so. My Maria is currently in the same state, a bud that is about to blossom out into a stunning flower, the sun that has already shown an edge of its dazzling corona. You're now waiting for their sunrise. You are still missing a little bit. Perhaps it's only a matter of time. Perhaps.
I have a heartache.
It It is fortunate that you come to see me, my good Master Burak. There's a matter of great importance for us to discuss. It has something to do with a man who is known to be very involved with you. The man to have spoken in your defense when everybody else had turned their backs on you. I'm speaking of Vlad Olgimsky, or specifically, the most lamentable fate that awaits him. What happened to him? The ruthless investigator that she is, Glayla Lilik, has ordered the opening of the termitary that was previously locked down by the Olgimskis. In doing so, she has uncovered a few pieces of most valuable evidence. Having interrogated Vlad the Heavy, she has received his full and sincere avowal of guilt. And yet... Yes, what is it? In truth, the catastrophic act that killed thousands of people is not a product of rational planning, rather that of hesitancy and reluctance. It's the reason why they were trying to hide the outbreak. Hesitancy, reluctance are quite common in younger people. Younger people. Precisely. It is Vlad the Younger, and not his father, whom we should hold responsible for this terrifying crime. Vlad the Younger gave the order at his own risk, and then kept it a secret from his father. It was already too late when my noble ally and opponent learned of these developments, so he took the blame for his son. What can I do? Report this to the governor, or even his wife, so they heard of some bad blood between you and Alexander. If you won't, I have good reason to believe the Inquisitor will order Vlad the Heavy's execution. Can't you tell the governor or the wife yourself? Because they trust the Canes even less than they trust the Buraks, especially now that Katerina feels what kind of powerful emotions you have stirred in the steely Inquisitor. You've left a strong impression on her yesterday. Maria feels it too. It is absolutely none of your business. Indeed, it's really a help your benefactor, shall we say your partner in misfortune. No, I don't want anything to do with matters of this kind. We're supposed to talk to Glayla first. I was about to end the day without actually completing the quest. That would have been dumb. Glayla?
Yes?
I'm happy to see you here. Still, it would have been better for you not to come here too often. I've been to the Abattoir. The things that I've found there are hard to explain to an unprepared person. I am well prepared, though. I know your people's mythology. I know the legends of these lands. Tell me what you've learned there. Tell me where the blood came from. I'll believe the most mind-boggling report, especially if it's consistent with my own data and calculations. There's a whole system of underground tunnels beneath the town, up to the Gorgon River. Sacrificial blood has been poured down there for hundreds of years. No surprises there. I read about it when I was preparing for the trip. Furthermore, I know for sure that other peoples have similar cults. They all belong to different ethnic groups. Some of them are northerners. The blood there is alive. It means the town nourishes it, and it probably nourishes the town. It's inexplicable, but it's a fact. Well, is it consistent with your data and calculations? Well, B is consistent with the calculations. As for the data, well, it also is. This is why digging wells is prohibited around here. This is why the rivers are so shallow and the Gorgon is so clean. Yes, I'm impressed, but not shocked. I was prepared to encounter something unique, even though I expected the mundane. What were you expecting? Something way less exciting. I thought the foreman was hiding an aurochs somewhere, a wounded one, perhaps. Could have drawn some of its blood for you. One aurochs would allow us to produce a few thousands of portions at least. Enough for the remaining people. They are gigantic, almost comparable to Brontosauri. To what? Wait a moment. This may be a rather fascinating natural phenomenon. We should look at it from a different angle. There is blood circulating in the town, feeding it. Then it's alive. This is your sought one. It all clicks, doesn't it? The size is fitting. What does Udurg mean? A body that contains the world. I am simply interpreting Isidore's words. Here, I've written it down. He knew that said Udurg was in danger. He knew that only a miracle could save its life. He knew that in order to cure it, one would require rivers of panacea. And so he decided to replace the foreman, regain legitimate control over the kin to get closer to the Udurg's bowels. You are correct. Yes, it's true. I have a different point of view, but I think I'm restructuring Isidore's thought process more or less correctly. The sign refers to some unnamed entity. It was silly of him to include this super being in his list among ordinary patients. Must have been boggling his mind too. Yes, that's my father, alright. I tried to put myself in his shoes and look it all through his eyes. That's exactly what must have happened. My research has come to an end. The answer is an Udurg, a body that contains the world, a living creature that my father vowed to protect. A settlement nurtured by animal husbandry. One thing seems dubious, though. What kind of sacrifice could possibly be proportionate enough to such sought one? There we have it. The final patient on our bound list is the town itself. Prepare my clothing. Thank you. And now, as I promised, I will head up to Lara Raval's sleep, and then, well, we're gonna have some new visitors tomorrow. Four mysterious claws for you, my good child. I'm sorry you had to witness that rat's death, child, but it had to happen. Good night and adieu.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
So the army has entered the stage. Tomorrow, we'll have to deal with them now. Naturally, with the coming of the army, a second panic ensues, and the prices are all fucked up again. Yep, 640 for dried meat, and there's even less food in shops now. The drought of supplies is really getting to this place.
Do you see now how many mysteries the Earth holds? The more terrifying the mystery, the deeper it lies, and the fewer wells can reach them.
The bowels of the Abattoir were turned inside out. There are beasts there.
It's filled with roots and dirt. The underground doors opens easily, but you can only go through if there's a grave behind it. Hopefully you catch my drift?
There's nothing to lose anyway. The soldiers will be here tomorrow. Let's risk it.
You're free to go anywhere. To the right, to the left, upwards, and even downwards a bit. You're welcome to make sure there are no tricks.
Who cares? It's all the same in the end.
So next time, the situation has only grown more complicated. Everyone,